The way we work is evolving. A lot of people are starting to skip that traditional 9 to 5 and they're taking on freelance jobs. So Brent Messenger with Fiverr is joining us. Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So there was a freelance economic impact report. So what were some of the key findings from that?
Yeah, so our impact report looked at the size and the growth of the skilled freelance population across the U.S., as well as their earnings year over year. It's the fourth year we've done this. We looked at the top 30 cities, and we actually analyzed about 20 million tax returns to do this. And what we learned was across the country, freelancers earned about $234 billion in 2020.
Really? Okay, well, my next question was going to be what's so attractive about freelancing? That's definitely one of the things, but what else?
Well, I think particularly in the past year with the pandemic, people turned to freelancing for a lot of different reasons. For starters, a lot of businesses found themselves in situations where they didn't have a lot of their employees, but they still needed to get things done. So they turned to freelancers. But for a lot of people who started freelancing, some were looking to supplement their income. Some were looking to transition into a different career. And others were, looking to relocate and have the freedom that freelancing affords. So there are lots of reasons people have chosen to do it.
Yeah, and I definitely think the pandemic had a lot to do with people changing their priorities. So I've heard of the term skilled freelancer, but what exactly is that? What does it mean?
Yeah, I mean, skilled freelancers are a specific subgroup. These are people who do knowledge-based labor that requires specialized skills. So these are people like graphic designers, programmers, app developers, and even, accountants and lawyers.
Okay, so those jobs, but what fields are attracting the most freelancers, would you say?
Well, it kind of depends, actually. The way our survey worked, we looked at different buckets of types of labors. So we looked at creative workers, technical workers, and professional workers. Creative workers are the people I mentioned, graphic designers, artists, and things like that. Technical workers develop apps and do programming, and then professional workers can be accountants and other professional types. And it really varied city by city. Some cities have a stronger population of a certain type. So Orlando, for example, has more professional workers. They earned about $1 billion in 2020 versus creative workers who earned about $288,000 in 2020.
Wow. Okay, so you mentioned, though, that you checked on 30 different areas. So what are some of the hottest right now for freelancers?
Well, amazingly, there's sort of a macro trend at work here, which is people leaving colder climates for warmer weather. And the biggest beneficiary of that would be Florida. Orlando is actually the #1 fastest growing city by population for skilled independent workers in our survey. But Miami is the third, pushing out Chicago, and Tampa is fifth. So there's been a big movement toward Florida for obvious reasons.
That is so, well, yeah, everyone loves it here too. I mean, it's definitely paradise, right? Okay, so how important is it to have a platform, though, for those people to connect?
About 43% of the people we surveyed said that they needed a platform, and that is growing year over year. A lot of freelancing used to happen, at the street level, sort of people, in contact with people they know face to face, person to person. But people are now realizing that there's a global opportunity to work, and these platforms really help them find opportunities, but they also help them, collect on invoices and all the other things that go with being a sort of business of one. So platforms are becoming more and more important each year.
Oh, totally. I mean, if you've never done it before, then you have no idea where to start or how to network, anything like that. So where can people get more information, Brent?
Yeah, so people can get more information about Fiverr at fiverr.com, and the impact report is at fiverr.com/freelance-impact.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I think this is going to help a lot of people, maybe, like you said, people shifting their careers, maybe wanting to try something different, and this could be a way for them to kind of test the waters, if you will. So thanks again.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to see this segment again or get more information, go to firstcoastliving.net.